I feel like this one single quote from CEO, co-founder, and creative and technical director Jeromy Caspian Walsh pretty much sums up the entirety of Chronicles of Elyria. When he approached investors to raise additional money for the game, they responded with, and I quote, "Why are you talking with us? If you're confident crowdfunding will sustain you, then you don't need us. And if you're not confident it'll sustain you, then we're not confident enough to invest." And it is with that quote that I want to inform everyone here, especially for those of you that went ahead and backed the game, that Chronicles of Elyria is shutting down. Not only is it shutting down though, but you've also been simultaneously scammed out of your money. Yeah. Awesome. The game was announced back in May 2016, where the game had a Kickstarter goal of $900,000. It went on to garner $1.36 million through initial crowdfunding, and then went on to obtain a total of almost $8 million. Seriously, that is almost $8 million flushed right down the toilet. Now, I am going to be real with you guys here. Developing an MMO takes a lot more than $900,000. It also takes a lot more than $8 million. MMOs are very large, very complex games that take a lot of time and a lot of money to develop. Either the developers behind the game were being a little disingenuous with the community with what they were asking, they had private investors waiting to invest large quantities of money into the game, or heck, they were just naive enough to think that this was a solid starting point for the game. What do I think? That these indie devs that I'm going to refer to as indie MMO devs are just giving other indie developers a really bad name. After years of development, Chronicles of Elyria had almost nothing to show. It delivered on nothing that it had promised. Yet Temtem, an MMO that released into early access just a few months ago, has more content in 2 years of development and significantly less funding than Chronicles of Elyria had over a 5-year period. Heck, even Ashes of Creation, which has repeatedly disappointed its fans, has confirmed that it's going into alpha testing. And honestly, people have dumped on Ashes of Creation like nearly as much as they dumped on Blast Online. Now, don't get me wrong, Chronicles of Elyria seemed like a great concept in retrospect, but ultimately, the developers behind the game clearly had no idea what they were doing and opted to milk their community for as much as they possibly could, for as long as they possibly could. Shortly after the announcement was made of the game's closure, Jeromy proceeded to take down the official Discord for the game. He stated that it was necessary and that he had to remove all of the moderators. Furthermore, the community forums for the game and various other features like the shop were also taken down and redirected to the landing page for the game. This happened after he posted, and I quote again here, "We believe there is still a future for Elyria. We're not sure in what shape or form it's going to take and when it will be available." So the guy goes on to shut down all forms of communication, but then at the same time also goes on to reassure players that the game is going to somehow continue, or at least that he has the intention of continuing the game. Just, like perhaps in a different form one day, like somewhere down the line. Like honestly, why not just say that you didn't want people talking crap about you in your game, you didn't want to have to moderate anything, and that eventually, once the dust has all settled down and this failure is passed into memory, you'll use the assets that you have to attempt to make a new game. Like, just be honest with us. Jeromy went on to post one final announcement on his website, and that was pertaining to the failure and the closure of the game. In the incredibly long, drawn-out post, he went on to, instead of apologizing to fans and backers on his utter inability to deliver on what was promised, blame investors that wouldn't give him the money he needed to keep the game development moving forward. Or, well, I guess I say keep development moving forward, but in reality, what I mean is just continue to put money into their pockets so they are able to continue doing absolutely nothing with it. It sucks when a crowd-funded game fails to deliver on something that they promised. This has been seen repeatedly over the development cycle of many Kickstarter-funded MMOs. It's worse when a game shuts down. Kurtzpal is on the brink of shutting down. MapleStory 2 just announced that it was shutting down. Blast Online. Okay, you know what? Actually, a lot of people were really happy when Blast Online announced that it was shutting down. And then we have games like WildStar. Like, there have been a ton. But the worst perpetrators, the games and developers that cancel a game before it even launches after spending years building up hype for the game and making false promises. But I mean, hey, that is just a market right now. And that is also simultaneously why I don't back games. Like, not because I can't. Like, I would love to back a ton of different games that I see. But more because this just happens so often that I won't. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, but I'm the kind of of person that likes to purchase a finished product. But this is my opinion, my impressions of Chronicles of Elyria shutting down. What do you guys think though? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this and I'll see you all next time.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it.